Hi, I want to use this video to discuss some of the things that I've been experiencing with the head unit and ask a couple questions about things that I'd like to do, and maybe you can give some recommendations on how I can perform these actions. First of all, I just wanted to report that generally this unit works fairly fast. Every once in a while, when I open something, it will take a little bit longer. Like I get clicked on the button and then I have to wait. That was a good example, maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds or so for it to open, which, when I'm quickly trying to get navigation and stuff moving in my car, it can be a little bit frustrating to have to wait that. Sometimes it'll do that for multiple button presses. If I'm, going to click done and I don't know, let's say I'm going to go to work and I click start, the internet is pretty fast on my phone right now, yet it'll take a while to load it. See, it's not super fast right now, or sorry, it's not super slow right now. But sometimes I can experience some issues with just loading routes. One of my biggest questions is this is see, hitting the home button there took a while to get it to respond. One of my biggest questions, this is Android, and so generally the home screen you can modify widgets and move things around, and my biggest hope was to be able to put some widgets on here, stuff like quick shortcuts for navigation. And if I long press on the home screen, usually on most Android devices it'll give you the option to change the wallpaper, which I know how to do that on this device. There's a different app for that. But usually you can add widgets, and I'm hopeful that you can recommend a way to add widgets. Plus, I'd like to move these widgets around. I, in fact, would rather not have the radio up here. So if you could recommend a way to change some of those features, that would be nice as well. I don't mind having this bar here, although being able to move that would be nice. One of the weird things that I've noticed about the home screen, I don't really know what the circle does. Maybe you can explain that. Um, Maybe it's not supposed to have any features. I don't know. I can't really demonstrate this right now because it is daytime, but this left column here of buttons has a backlight during night when I put my lights on. You can kind of see it actually. There's on, off, on, off. Now, during the night, I usually have the backlight set to a very low brightness, but the lights are very bright. This ribbon of lights is very bright, and I was hopeful that I can change the intensity of that brightness or turn them off altogether. It can be a little bit distracting while driving. Another question that I have is when I press the power button, it turns the display off. I'm just wondering if there's a way that I can change that to turn to the screen off mode, because having just the clock there would be perfect rather than turning the entire display off, or have both options would be really cool. Let's see. Switching between different inputs can be sometimes a little bit of a challenge, but I think I just need to configure stuff in here. That's not really a concern for you guys. One thing that I did want to ask, right now I have my my button set up on my steering wheel. If I press the volume up or down, you can see that it properly toggles the volume. I can change the, all these buttons have been configured to work. I was able to get that coordinated. So my biggest concern though is I have two buttons. I have a back button and a voice button on my steering wheel, and I'd like to be able to use that to do features on this device. If I go, I'll show you, if I go to car setting, which appears to be the only settings that work. If I click on the steering wheel learn, this is what I've configured, those buttons there. Now, I would really like to see a back button and a voice command button. Now, I was very excited to see that when I go to the car kit and I go to learning, there's a microphone button for voice command, and then there is a back button as well. Now, if I click start learning here and I try to press the volume toggles, it says please click the buttons on the steering wheel, and it doesn't let me complete the study. So it appears that this car kit isn't functioning, and I was hoping to use that to override some of the features on the car setting application. The reason why I want to do this is because of some of those additional features, and it looks like there might be some additional features for other areas of the car. If this isn't a supported app, maybe an upgrade or an update would be beneficial in order to do that. There's one other thing I think with CarKit. Oh, yes. So the voice command button, I'd really like to be able to use voice command to activate something like Google or OK Google, or Alexa, or one of those applications, probably OK Google, so that way I can tell my device to route me home, or something along those lines. I did download the application inside inside here. It's actually not installed right now, but under the Play Store, I downloaded the Google Voice command. But I'd like to be able to press the button on the steering wheel in order to complete that command. I think that's pretty much all of my questions that I have. Maybe some of these you might have some recommendations on, others maybe not. I think it would be really, really nice to be able to upgrade to an Android that I can have more configuration on the home screen. Being an Android device, that was something that I really assumed when I bought the device. And one of my friends purchased a similar unit. I don't know if it was through you or through a different company, but it had a configurable Android home screen, such as an Android tablet, and that was one of my main reasons for buying this, so I can really configure it however I like. And this seems pretty restrictive, and I was hoping that you guys can maybe give some recommendations on that. Anyway, thank you very much. Maybe we can do a WhatsApp or a Skype call to answer some of these questions, or if you don't mind just breaking it all out into an email with responses to some of the questions I asked. Whatever you think is best, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.